I was 80 years old when my own sons left me alone. They didn't shout, they didn't cry. They simply packed my old clothes into two small bags, placed them by the front door, and said the words that shattered my heart forever. Mom, we can't take care of you anymore. I looked at the family photos hanging on the wall. I had spent my entire life raising those boys. I skipped meals so they could eat. I worked until my hands bled so they could go to school. I stayed awake every night whenever they were sick. But now, they couldn't even make room for me. I smiled because I didn't want them to see my heartbreak. I picked up my bags, walked out of the house I had called home for over 40 years, and as the door closed behind me, I realized something. Sometimes, the people you love the most become the people who hurt you the deepest, but none of them knew. That one old recipe book in my bag was about to change my life forever. Strong character. Introduction. My name is Elizabeth Carter. I am 80 years old. Most people see wrinkles. I see memories. Every line on my face tells the story of a mother who never stopped loving. I lost my husband almost 15 years ago. After that, my two sons became my entire world. I never remarried. I never complained. Everything I had, I gave to them. When they wanted new shoes, I wore the same old pair. When they dreamed of college, I worked two jobs. When they got married, I gave them every saving I had. People called me strong, but the truth is, I wasn't strong. I was simply a mother, and a mother's heart always chooses her children before herself. I believed love always comes back. I believed sacrifice is never forgotten. I believed family lasts forever. I was wrong. 3. Main problem. After my youngest son inherited the family house, everything changed. Suddenly, I wasn't mom anymore. I became a burden. Every conversation stopped when I entered the room. Every smile disappeared. One evening, I accidentally heard my daughters in law talking. She's too old. She needs too much attention. We can't keep living like this. A few days later, both of my sons sat in front of me. Neither of them could look into my eyes. The older one quietly said, Mom, maybe you'll be happier somewhere else. Happier? How could a mother be happier without her children? I wanted to ask. What did I do wrong? But I already knew. Sometimes you don't lose your family because you failed. You lose them because they forgot who stood beside them from the beginning. Hopeful response. That first night, I cried until there were no tears left. Then I opened my old recipe book. Inside were recipes written by my own mother over 60 years ago. Each page carried memories: fresh bread, apple pie, chicken soup, homemade cookies. For the first time in weeks, I smiled. Maybe I had lost my home, but I had not lost my gift. The next morning, I borrowed an old phone from a kind neighbor. She smiled and said, Why don't you show people you're cooking? I laughed. Who wants to watch an 80-year-old woman cook? She answered, The world needs grandmothers more than you think. Those words gave me hope. Small positive actions. Every morning, I woke up before sunrise. I cleaned the tiny kitchen, placed the phone on a stack of books, pressed record. My hands shook. Sometimes I forgot my words. Sometimes I burned the bread. Sometimes only 5 people watched. But I never stopped. Every recipe carried love. Every meal carried a memory. People started leaving comments. You remind me of my grandmother. I miss my mom. I cried while watching this. For the first time since my sons left me, I no longer felt alone. I had found a new family, one viewer at a time. Success. 6 months later, everything changed. My little cooking channel reached 1 million subscribers. Brands wanted to work with me. Television shows invited me. Cookbooks sold across the country. People traveled for hours just to taste my food. The same recipes my sons once ignored had become my biggest blessing. Then one afternoon, a black car stopped outside my small home. Two familiar faces stepped out. My sons, they stood silently, holding flowers. For the first time, they looked ashamed. Powerful ending. My oldest son whispered, "Mom, we're sorry. We made the biggest mistake of our lives. They asked me to come home." I looked at them with love, not anger, not revenge, just love, because a mother's heart never truly stops loving. I forgave them. But I didn't move back. I had finally built a life that belonged to me. Before they left, I gave each of them one fresh loaf of bread, the same bread I baked when they were little boys. They both cried. As I watched them walk away, I realized something. Sometimes life takes everything from you, only to show you the gift you carried inside all along. You are never too old to begin again, and the greatest recipe in life is love mixed with faith, courage, and never giving up.